It's despicable what's going on here. They're trying to lead us down a path to civil war.
This is a president that is using law enforcement and federal forces for political purposes.
This is unbelievable.
And that should be chilling to every American.
Yeah, what you're saying is chilling.
What do you do to stop it?
What do you do to stop it?
We will continue to do. I think the number one thing we can do to bring peace to the streets in Seattle and across America is to bring more justice to the systems.
Okay, all right, sure. Yes, exactly. In other words,
good plan.
We're doing nothing to stop it. In fact, we like it. We're gonna continue to do nothing about the mayhem, Aaron. In fact, we're gonna encourage it, as we've been doing up until this point. And I guess it'll stop, Aaron, when Seattle, Portland, and Oakland and every other liberal hellhole in this country are burned to the stinking ground. That's when it'll stop, is when there's nothing left to set on fire. Let's just think back to a decade ago, maybe a little more than a decade now. It's amazing how much time has gone by and how quickly. You remember what the Obamas told us that they were going to do? They, being the Marxists and communists and anarchists that they're in league with, the left-wing mob, they told us over and over exactly what they were going to do.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
And of course, there was this from Michelle.
And Barack knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices. We are going to have to change our conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place.
Wow, isn't our country being transformed right now? And aren't they changing our history right now? The 1619 Project, they're literally trying to change our history, our culture, our traditions. They've moved us into a different place, a place where we can't stand each other. They successfully did it. Before Obama, we didn't have this horrific division in our nation. We weren't at each other's throat. We had disagreements. And certainly the left hated George W. Bush with a passion. But this is a whole other level now. I mean, this hatred has spread now. They don't just hate like George W. Bush or Donald Trump. They hate America now. And they hate American values. They seem to hate white people. And they've laid the blame for every single wrong that's ever happened to them and this country at the doorstep of Whitey. I mean, until now, until this fundamental transformation, they've never been able to overcome the firewall of the American founders, because Americans love the founding fathers. We knew they weren't perfect, but we also knew what they were up against. We knew the complexities that they faced. And we also understood as Americans that these were really good men, that these were inspired men. And we have always believed in and revered them. And that founding firewall protected the American principles of freedom upon which they built this country. That firewall protected the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. It led to individualism. We believed in these principles and in the opportunities that we have in this country to make our own way. Well, now these radical revolutionaries have hacked our founding firewall. They've successfully tainted the founding fathers. They poisoned that tree of liberty. And now the fruit of that poisoned tree, the U.S. Constitution, has been corrupted in the minds of so many. What everybody once agreed on, we can't even get together on it anymore. Once you disparage the founders, now you can attack everything they created, including negating all the brilliant, inspired work they did. So what now? Where do we go? What do we do? For one thing, I think families with school-age kids must have real, truthful American history in their homes. You got to teach it to your kids yourself. You cannot count on the educational system in this country anymore. If you don't have it, buy it. The 5,000-year leap. Gotta have that. That is a must to teach your children with.
And read it with your kids.
Absolutely.
Anybody can get a ton of information out of that thing.
You'll love it. And so will they. It's really good. It's interesting, and it's real, and it's true. There might not be a better way to teach American history in the world. Teach it to your kids at home. Make sure that they get that foundation, the love for this country. If we grow up with generations of kids and young adults who hate this country, we've got no chance. We've got no chance to continue as a country. If it's possible, if you can, I think from now on, you need to homeschool your kids. You can't count on the school system anymore. It is infested with almost the whole educational system now. The 1619 Project being the latest among them.
Yeah, and with these lockdowns and these schools not starting up, one thing that is really taken root is called these little school pods, where just like-minded moms are getting together, and maybe they're pulling their money and hiring a teacher to teach their kids in their homes.
That'd be cool.
If anything, this opportunity, as frustrating and insane as the lockdowns are, this opportunity is falling into people's laps right now.
Yeah.
And giving you
maybe it gives you an alternative.
Yes, exactly.
Get original source books. The books that are from prior to the progressive age, like, say, 1920. And teach your kids at home. Even if you can't homeschool full time, at least supplement what they're getting somewhere else. Get books like The Real George Washington, The Real Thomas Jefferson, The Real Benjamin Franklin. They're so good, and they're absolutely true. And they will teach you who these men really were, and teach your children who these men really were.
Yeah, and like if you just go to wallbuilders.org, I'm just going to check here. I mean, that they've got
to have those,
all sorts of great books that you can order directly from them. I'm just looking to see where you would go on the website. Let's see, library maybe? Yep. Yeah, so just go to Wall Builders, and that's a great place to start as far as resources for your kids.